I came back to China, working at Tsinghua University as an assistant professor. Then this year, I switched to SJTU, the Shanghai Jiaotong University, continue working on advanced department, and also join this PandaX collaboration. So today it's great for me to have this chance to share the progress and the plan of PandaX experiment with all of you. So my talk will be so is the outline is something like this: the motivation and some introduction and history introduction about the PandaX experiment. Then in the future and right now we are planning to build this photon experiment liquid xenon detector to expand our sensitivity on dark matter and some other physics. So the dark matter is the main motivation of this whole experiment. So that's the knowing puzzle in the universe. Since we found that the dark matter contributes around 27% of the energy and mass of the universe. And the evidence is there are a lot of evidences. Firstly, the rotation curve of the galaxy, and also the bullet cluster. When the two clusters pass through each other, we found that some unseen particle, the unseen mass will leave each other and seeming like not interacting with each other at all. And those visible particles will interact and stay almost in the center of the clear. So we hope that in the lab, either in the satellite or the ground or the underground, we hope to detect the dark matter and measure its physics property. Since it's definitely a new particle beyond the standard model, so understanding the property of this dark matter will definitely expand our understandings of the elementary particle interaction significantly. Since with so large amount of dark matter, and that will definitely introduce some new things, new ideas, or totally different world to us. So so we built this how to detect this dark matter. There are several approaches, and our group used the liquid xenon detector. This detector can measure lots of real physics events. Dark matter is one of them, and that's the dark matter direct detection experiment. So that's the idea that the dark matter, if it has some interaction beyond the gravity with the standard particle, when it comes to our lab, collide with our target nuclear, then it will cause some nuclear recoil in the detector. Then it will produce some signal. So we hope that to measure this recoil signal to identify if there is incoming dark matter. And the xenon is a good target material. I will describe later in this talk. So beyond this dark matter, we also have neutrino-less double band decay. So that will solve the problem if the neutrino is Majorana particle, and which is related to the antimatter puzzle, and also give us some hint about the neutrino mass. So that will produce a very rare signal. That's 2 electrons, and 2 electrons will give some ionization signal in this liquid xenon detector. And also this detector can do the neutrino detection. There is 2 possible interaction. One is the neutrino nuclear coherent scattering. That's with the diagram listed here. And the other is also the electroweak scattering of the neutrino with the electron. So the neutrino detection is more or less about the solar neutrino, the PP neutrino, the boron 8 neutrino, which has either has a very high flux or have a very strong energy. That will give us some signal. All right. So this collaboration is formed in 2009 with more than 10 institutes. Some of the states in this collaboration still right now, and some have left. But this is started by Professor G and led in I would say that it's dominated by Shanghai Jiao Tong University. It's very rare in China, as we know that the most large experiments are all started by the Chinese academics in like I have Institute of High Energy Physics, something like that. But the one university can contribute dominantly to one experiment, especially in the high energy particle experiments, is very rare. Okay, so that's just to take one advantage of the location, the underground laboratory in China. That is the China Jinping Underground Laboratory. So this laboratory is constructed by both Tsinghua University and Shanghai Jiao Tong University. And in the early time that we found that there was a tunnel in that area, which was this Jinping tunnel, which was used for the hydrate factory. And the Professor G and some guy in Tsinghua noted that this could be an ideal place to screen this cosmic ray from the universe, and can do the underground experiment. So the two institutes just put two dark matter experiments each inside there, and one is the CDEX by Tsinghua and PandaX by Shanghai Jiao Tong University. So this is the deepest one in the world, and every week, every square meter, there is only one new one going through this 2,400 meter stone and reach our laboratory. The other advantage is that it has the horizontal access, so the truck can drive our apparatus directly into the place of the laboratory. And now we have got some support from the Chinese government. This is the 13-5 plan, and the government invests a really huge amount of money to construct this laboratory, and hope it can hold lots of international collaborations and for the underground experiments. Okay, so the PandaX is a short name of particle and astrophysical xenon experiment. This is in Sichuan, so we chose the panda as our symbol. So from 2009 to 2014, we have some prototype of this xenon detector with 120 kilogram liquid xenon dark matter detector. This just proves that we have the technology to build such kind of experiment. So then from 2014 to 2017, we have we upgraded to 500 kilogram liquid xenon detector. That's the diameter of this cylinder doesn't change. It's still like 60 centimeter, but the height is expanded by a factor of 3. So with this 500 kilogram the dark matter detector, we have reached the world leading sensitivity. Then the next plan is the PandaX X10 for the future. The photon is just the intermediate stage, and eventually we hope we can have like a 30-ton dark matter detector. Meanwhile, we also developing a PandaX 3. This is kind of the xenon, but in a gas field, the gas phase that's dominated by the xenon 136, which can decay into which have the neutrinoless double beta decay. So it's a gas TPC, and all the others is a liquid xenon TPC. Okay, so the principle of this detector is something like this. If the dark matter particle just goes through this detector and collide with one of our nuclear, the xenon nuclear, then the nuclear will have the positive charge, then it will recoil and move in one direction. Then it will generate a scintillation light at the scattering place, the position. And meanwhile, it can also give the ionization signal, will ionize the electron. Then we build the electric field from top to down. Then the electron under this drift field will go up. Then it will go close to the surface of the liquid. And above the surface, there is that's the gas phase of the liquid, the gas phase of the xenon. Then we have another field. It's called the extraction field. In the extraction field, the electron is extracted from the liquid phase to the gas phase, and give the proportional light. That's also the scintillation light. That's the S2 signal. The velocity of the drift velocity of the electron from S1 position to S2 position is very small. So there is some time difference. It's around 300 microseconds for the PandaX experiment. And with this distance, we are able to, given this velocity, with this, we are able to identify the Z position of this signal, the initial scattering place. And the XY axis in the horizontal plane is constructed by the PMT in the top and the bottom. So there are a bunch of the PMT align each other densely. Then there is some distribution on the light collection on in the so many PMTs. So then we can the closer of the PMT to the S2 signal, the more light will be collected. So based on this idea, we are able to reconstruct the XY position of the scattering. And also the top and the bottom, the PMT will collect both the S1 and S2 signal, but the strength of the signal is different. And the ratio of S1 to the S2 is also different between the signal and the background. Since here we claim signal is a nuclear recoil. The nuclear recoil will have more S2. It will have the S2 to S1 ratio of nuclear recoil is much smaller than the S2 to S1 ratio of the electron recoil. Electron recoil, we call this the background, since in the detector there is the radioactive elements in the material, and also there is leakage of the air inside the detector, like in the air there is a krypton or radon. These are radioactive element, and that will give the electron that will radiate an electron, or some material will radiate a photon. This electron photon will cause the electron recoil signature. So based on this construction, we are the double phase xenon detector measuring the S1 scintillation and S2 ionization signals. We are also able to separate the signal in the background based on the ratio. And with these two signals, based on these two signals, we are also able to reconstruct the energy of the scattering. So in this development, we have the position information, the energy information, and also the signal discrimination. And this technique is was developed by Xenon collaboration. And here we have Carl, who is one of the inventor of this double phase detector at that moment. So the first delivery of PandaX experiment happened in 2012. So after 4 years construction, we have the first PandaX phase 1 experiment. And here is how it looks in the underground laboratory. So the TPC, the time projection chamber, or the cylinder as shown in the previous slide, just in the center of in the center of the picture, and covered by and screened by the copper outside. Then there is a Teflon the Teflon lead and the Teflon GaN. So all this material will screen we try to screen the local radioactivity elements, like from the stone or the stone and and also try to screen further about cosmic ray. All right. So the first result of the PandaX phase 1 was released in 2014, and that has the 54 kilogram liquid xenon in the fiducial volume in the sensitive area, and it runs 80 days. So we have the 54 times 80, the kilogram day exposure, and the results just showing in this red curve in the right plot. The x-axis is a dark matter. The x-axis is a dark matter mass. This is a free parameter, so we need to scan this mass. The y-axis is dark matter nucleon scattering cross section. So we found that this red curve just disfavored all the previous reported claims, like the gamma or the signals. No, the gamma, and the cogent, and the CDMS. The claimed region is showing in the colored circle in the plot, and all the lines, the single line is the exclusion curve. So that means we exclude all the top right places in this phase space. And the left area, like the dark matter mass below 7 GeV or 10 GeV, we don't have that sensitivity. That's because for the extremely light dark matter, it's very hard to cause the nuclear sizable nuclear recoil signal. Also, that's the common issue of the direct detection experiment, measuring the scattering, the recoil signature. And some experiments like the CDMS They use a different target material that will lower the threshold, but it can lower they have some sensitivity from 5 to 10 GeV, but below 5 there is still the signal problem. That's why we also need some other experiment, the totally different design, like the collider search, and also indirect detection experiment, try to combine them together to cover all the mass region. Okay. So after this Panda 1, we have Panda 2. I said that the height of the TPC is expanded by a factor of 3 to 60 centimeters, and it contains 500 kilogram sensitive liquid xenon target. And try to use some new technologies are used in this upgrade, so like the 3 inches PMT, and also improve the best design. And also besides that, we add in some skin vital region outside the sensitive area. So some particle, like a radioactive particle, if they come inside this the center of the detector, it has to pass through the skin area. If we put some detector outside in the skin area, then it will first detect. Then we will detect multiple energy deposit in this TPC. And about dark matter, the interaction is very rare. So it's very so the signal will mainly deposit energy inside the TPC. Okay. All right. So here is some figure about how the electric field is constructed. So we have four electrode. From bottom to top is the bottom screening, then the cathode, then the gate, then the anode. Between cathode and the gate, it provides the drift field. Between gate and anode, it provides the extraction field. So the liquid and the gas separate the top of the liquid affects just between the gate and the anode. So the cathode, we put the high voltage as high as around 30,000 volts, and the gate will be was put 5,000 volts. Okay, so later I will describe that when we upgrade further to photon experiment, there is a big challenge to maintain the high drift velocity, the high drift field. Since like the needed voltage on the cathode will be doubled. All right. So here are some pictures about the construction history of the detector. So the top left is the main body of the TPC. So we put this the white board, that's a Teflon or the PTFE, which have a very good reflectivity of the scintillation light. The scintillation light has the wavelengths around 175 nanometer. And we found that the Teflon has a reflectivity more than 95%. So we try to build the TPC based on the Teflon and to maintain a good light collection efficiency. And outside that, there is some the copper ring. That's we call it the shaping ring. So that in the top and the bottom, we have 2 electrodes to give the drift field. and you also have those stress field all point outside the point downward in the vertical direction. We have to put lots of shaping ring outside to maintain a uniform electric field inside the TPC. And the bottom, the left bottom is a picture of our electrodes. The electrodes, we have two basic requirements. The first, that it has to provide a uniform electric field. The second, that it have a good transparency of our light. Since our signal is light, it will go through this. It have to go through this electrode and reach our PMT. This is the signal collector in the top and the bottom of the TPC. So it makes the construction of the electrode is really hard. And when we increase the size, the challenge becomes much larger. The right plot is the TPC. Is the PMT, the photon multiplier tube. This PMT was provided by the Binsong, the Hamamatsu company in Japan. Only that company can produce some the satisfied PMT for this ultraviolet light collection. Okay, so this plot is how the TPC look like when we finish the construction, and that's left. The right is the electronics. Each PMT, in total we have 110 PMT, the 3-inch PMT, and plus 48 1-inch PMT in the skin area. Each PMT needs correspond to one line in the right. Okay, so after finish the construction of the PandaX phase 2 in 2015, and we started this commissioning run. It's run 8, and we found that there is some leakage in the detector, and that's caused a really huge krypton background. So the krypton will radiate the electron. We have beta decay. The beta decay the electron will cause a huge amount of background. So we have to empty the whole TPC and shift the xenon back to Shanghai. There is a distillation tower built in Shanghai University. And then the detector was refueled. Then we shifted the xenon back to Jinping and refueled the detector. Then start the physics data taken in 2016. In March 2016, that's run 9. So after several months running, so we reached the world leading sensitivity. So it's a similar plot as before. The X is the dark matter mass, right? The left is the scattering cross section, and the red line is our current sensitivity. It reached the 2.5 times 10 to the minus 46 centimeter square. That's the scattering cross section. Let's have to reach the top leading. The world leading. So this results was released in July 21st and submitted to PIL 26th. Then just less than 1 month, it was accepted by the PIL and published in September 16th. It's really a magic. Okay, so but there are lots of competitions in the world. So here at least I copied one slide from some theorists, no, some experiments that list all the current running experiment about dark matter direct detection in the world. It's all in the north part of the Earth. So the current best limit just produced by us, and also the large experiment. That's a 10 to the minus 46, as showing in the bottom plot, this kind of red curve. But there is still some space uncovered below this, either to the left of the curve or below the curve. And the yellow band is from the neutrino background, which we call the neutrino floor. That's from the solar neutrino and also atmosphere neutrino. So there is still, since we haven't seen any dark matter signal, so we'd like to extend this sensitivity further until we reach this neutrino floor. And that's the plan for the photon experiment. And we try the sensitivity. We would like to have it to reach 10 to the 47 centimeter square. But eventually we have 30 tons. That's our plan if the photon succeed. And the idea of this photon is showing in this in the figure. And the TPC is located in the center, and surrounding it is a water tank. This is for the screening, to screen the radioactivity from the laboratory itself, the stone, etc. And in the past, we just simply used the copper and the PTFE, etc. But we found that to reach such high sensitivity, we have to try our best, use the pure water. Then put on top of this water tank, we have the distillation tower, as showing this tall one, and so that we don't have to ship the xenon back to Shanghai to distill it if there is some leakage of krypton. Then we can distill it directly in the laboratory. And the electronics, I don't need to describe all the details about that part, but in general, there are four groups for the experiment: the TPC and the detector. The second is the background control. The third is the electronics. The fourth is the xenon handling. Since we will deal with like a 6-ton xenon and store it, cooling it, and purification of that. Okay, this TPC, the design the design is ready, or was finished in 2016, the end of last year, and it had the drift distance. The height of the TPC is 1.2 meter. That's twice as high as before the plan. Then the diameter is also increased by factor 2. So in total, this TPC can contain around 4 tons liquid xenon in the sensitive area. That would be the largest TPC, the dark matter detector, when it is finished around 2019 or 20. Okay, so we try to put all the performance into extreme. So we need the high signal collection efficiency. So that means for every keV energy deposit, we need to have as high the photon collection as possible. Because eventually all the signal is converted into the photon, this ultraviolet light with 178 nanometer, and collected by the PMT. The PMT has a quantum efficiency more than 30% by the Hamamatsu company. So we hope that in the future, China can build such kind of PMT as well. This is, as you know, that in the Zhou Ning experiment, recently, just 1-2 years ago, the China successfully built a 20-inch PMT for the neutrino signal collection, and that's just forced the Hamamatsu company to reduce their price by really a lot. So now the 75% of the PMT used in Juno is provided by the Chinese company. So for the 3 inches PMT, aiming for the 178 nanometer light collection, there is still some technical challenge. Okay, then the light collection efficiency is also that designed to improve the light collection efficiency is that we use as many 3-inch PMT as possible and put it very dense to avoid the dead area, so that we have around 368 PMTs from the top and bottom, and they have different design in the top and bottom in order to improve the position reconstruction resolution. And the goal is to have the light collection efficiency around 50%. And also the electric field. So we want a large and uniform electric field. And the drift field have to be around 400 volts per centimeter in order to maintain the drift velocity, and also maintain the S1, S2 with two signal ratio. The extraction field need to be around 6,000 volts per centimeter in order to have more than 90% extraction efficiency. Okay, I said that there was a challenge that on the cathode. The cathode here, the voltage need to be put around minus 55,000 volts. So now we are doing some tests on the high voltage test in the laboratory, and it's really hard to make sure there is no discharge everywhere in the cathode with this high voltage. So the electrode is built something like this, use the mesh or wire, and we also we talked with lots of companies in the world, including the US, found that it's really hard, or they don't have the facility to build such large size of the mesh, the mesh, and that's why we have to do it by ourselves, to have the high voltage and also have high light transparency. Okay. In the shaping ring, I will neglect it, and the V2 system. So the electronics that the channel of the detector will be increased from 110 to 500 channels, and in order to improve sensitivity in the small dark matter mass region, we have to lower the threshold. For instance, we can use the triggerless data taken with that trigger, and we collect all the data detected in the TPC. Then we can recover some sensitivity in the low dark matter mass region. And for the background control, For that, we have to control the two parts. First part is the material to construct the TPC itself, like the steel, the PTFE, the PMT, and the copper. So that's based on our germanium detector. Here we'll use this detector constructed at the CJPL, the Jinping laboratory. Then we have to identify or find the good material. Since the radioactivity here is well beyond the commercial needs. So we would like for all the radioactive elements below 0.5 millibecquerel per kilogram. That's the becquerel is just 1 count per second. So that means every kilogram material, we need to have we require material have the radioactive events less than 0.5 times 10 to the minus 4. Okay. So also the second part is the xenon. It's the radioactive events elements in the xenon due to the leakage, the impurity of the xenon. For instance, the krypton. So we would like to have the krypton level be around 0.1 ppt, and our current level, the world current level, is 10 ppt. We need to improve it almost by a factor of 100. That's another challenge. So the cooling and purification system is to handle this 5-ton xenon and make sure that the xenon can be cooled down to the minus 110 degree, and can get inside the detector and also get out detector within like 1 month in case of some emergency, something like that. Okay, we don't have enough space in the CJPL, so we store it we design it like this. There are several possibilities. The best one is in the liquid xenon phase, and that's what the xenon collaboration is doing right now, as shown in the left part. I put the xenon in the liquid phase and store it into a sphere, and it can contain like a 7-ton xenon inside. Or we can use the gas xenon storage, but that will consume a lot of space in the laboratory. So we are still trying to develop a reliable technique to store all the mixture of the liquid and the gas phase. And for the background, so we have a team to work on the background simulation based on the current radioactive level measured in measured in our counting station. So the goal is to control the background below 6 events in 2 years exposure, and with this amount of background, we are able to reach like 10 to the minus 47 square centimeter sensitivity on the dark matter. Okay, that's the kind of expectation of our reach. So the left plot is similar. We can focus on the left plot. The dashed red, the solid red line is our current sensitivity, and we want to improve that by a factor of 10. That will be the dashed red line. The dashed red line can reach part of the neutrino flow, just in the around 8 GeV dark matter region. So that means that our detector can somehow detect the solar neutrino as well. Okay. So the projection time scale is listed here. So we hope that in 2016 we can start to we can do some phase running in the CGPL directly, and hope in 2020 in 2021 we will publish like 2 years result. Okay, here is the summary. So with 500 kilogram xenon, we have reached the world frontier of dark matter direct detection, and then we want to build the upgrade into a photon experiment. So that would be a multi-purpose detector for dark matter, neutrino starbright can neutrino, solar neutrino detection. So we hope that we can have some results around 2020 or 2021, and we are very confident to build such a new experiment in the future 3 years. That's all. Thanks.
我问一个问题啊，对不起，就是你那个就是500 kilogram 这个 experiment， 你画了一个图，所以我就是你能不能用简单的 physics 讲讲这个图 ？What did it tell you about dark matter？
是那个 sensitivity 的图还是什么图啊？
就前面你说有一个最前面，这就是那个你前面做了一个 experiment， 做已经在那个 PRL 上发表的那篇文章。这个 experiment 主要是告诉你什么结论呢？这个 What's the conclusion of 这个？
这个结论就是说，这条红线的上面，我们现在未发现有暗物质的迹象。
OK。
也就是说，暗物质如果它存在的话，它要么就有可能在这红线的下面。
OK。
但是有一点我们要说清楚，我们做实验的要说清楚，这条图画出来是有假设的。它这里边假设是有几个，第一个是假设暗物质和我们的那个反重合，就是那个靶物质。是弹性散射，这第一。第二，这幅图是假设它和它的散射是与核的自旋无关的。
OK。
这两个假设还有一个假设，就是我们暗物质在太阳系附近的密度分布。这3个假设如果有任何一个假设有问题，或者说假设不精确，这幅图那个就要值得商榷。所以说我们实验就是说我们在某些假设下画出这个图，我们也不敢说在这个红线上面就是100%的没有暗物质。
OK。
只不过说我们的灵敏度还不够。
那现在大家对这个3个假设的 confidence level 怎么样？
现在那个与太阳系附近的暗物质密度，我们通过不同的像中国的那个Lamos 的那个实验基本上可以大概确认是0.3个 GeV 立方厘米。这一点我们这一点可以确认。那么它的暗物质的在这个附近的速度分布，我们现在假设是麦克斯韦尔分布。这个假设呢，现在没有太好的那个，就只有理论上的那个认为它理论上可以合适，也没有什么太好的那个证据。那么它的是弹性散射还是非弹性散射？这个是完全没有那个证据的。 比如说我们实际上是画弹性散射，我们画一张图，非弹散射我们也有一张图，当然非弹散射的那个灵敏度就达不到10^-46了，因为我们画一般选一个最强的再画在这儿，然后自旋相关和自旋无关的也任何没有假设。比如说有些它那个相互作用，比如说是矢量传播的相互作用，矢量波次传播的一样，那就是自旋无关。那如果是个轴矢量传播的，那就是自旋相关。这是也是画各种各样的图在这边。那灵敏度，你看自旋相关的话，那灵敏度只能达到10^-40厘米平方。现在这个自旋无关呢，能达到10^-46，中间差6个量级。
OK。
请问那个另外一个 Zhou Ning 那是哪一个国家的？
那个是那个 Columbia 的 Elena 那个组他主导的，实际上他放在了意大利的 Gran Sasso， 就是在这里边这个意大利那个 Gran Sasso 的这块。
OK，
现在世界上做的最强的就是与我们有竞争的，现在就2个，一个是 Zhou Ning， 他们现在做到1吨的量级，他们在2019年要开始建造7吨。另外一个就是在美国的那个 Lux 呢，是他要跟那个 Zeppelin 合并产生一个叫 LZ 的这样一个实验。LZ 实验呢，也是现在得到了 DOE 的支持，是2020年呢开始。
就这么做一个 experiment， 像你们比如说做一个这需要多少钱？这种 experiment？
这个钱呢，我们做4吨呢，大概是那个7000万人民币的这样一个量级。
7000万人民币，那也不算太贵了。
是这个还好。
7000万人民币相当于就是1000万那个美金，$10 million， 对不对？$10 million， 所以这个也不是说太贵，对吧？
它这里边最花钱的就是那个吸烟了。这个 Zhou Ning 是这个世界产量是有限的，那个东西比较花钱。所以说这个规模体量呢，对一个学校领导的这样的实验还算合适的。
对，
可以承受的。
因为我看有的这种能量很高的这种实验，就CERN，他们都是几个billion的什么的。
对。我们国内现在做的那个 CPC 那也几百个亿呢。
对。
那请问这个做理论的你们跟谁合作啊？现在搞理论的
理论的话，现在合作的又比较多。那比如说是那个国际上呢有个Vic Haxon， 然后那个像王连涛跟我们也有一定的合作，等等。国内的也是高中所的有一拨人，毕晓军，然后理论所的周宇峰，还有北大的曹庆红，是，当然还有现在我们理论上的，也关注的是其他的新暗物质理论，比如说轴子的理论，像还有是有特别轻的暗物质，比如开一位的那个理论大部分有个预言，就是在直接对上一个预言，我们就会跟他们联络，然后在我们的直接探测中间的信号去检测它，他们也会积极看我们的结果。我们一旦有结果，他们就赶快去跟他们的实验、他们的理论模型验证，看看能排除掉什么地， 参数空间。
好，谢谢。
哎，
大家还有什么问题？好，那没有的话，那就谢谢周博士。
好，谢谢大家给我这个机会。
以后听到你们的好消息。
好，谢谢你。哎，
好，再见。
OK，再见。
再见啊。哎。